I need to boost my camera up a bit. There we go. Audio good. All right, cool. The light coming through this window is, it is so white outside. It snowed all day. Monday, I believe it was. Anyways, my child has been off school all week. And outside, it looks about that same color and brightness, but it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love having seasons. I never used to have seasons in California, so I'm very grateful for the snow and all the fun things you get to do when it's snowy that you don't get to do any other time of year. Hi, Itty Bitty. Hi, Holy Trinity. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm just settling into the space. I was running a little late getting everything set up, but we are on it. We are moving. I hope you have a comfy space or a comfy place to listen. I've got some tea, my jasmine green tea, my all-time favorite. And we're going to talk some channeled messages. So every Sunday I sit down in meditation and ask Spirit, what do you have for awakened creators? What is it we need to know? What would be of the highest and greatest good? So unless I have, a ritual planned or something like that, I try to just leave the gates open and not think of an idea, but just allow Spirit to speak through me. And the beauty of the messages that came through this week have been so profound, and I've really been getting to kind of see them play out in my regular life, and which is good because then I'm better able to communicate it with you. And these two messages in particular, the first channeled message was all about putting ourselves out there. And we are being asked to completely shift our perspective of what that even means. So when we in our human capacity think about putting ourselves out there, sharing our heart work with the world, maybe posting it on social media or taking an opportunity to go on stage, it feels like exposure. It feels like vulnerability. It feels like standing naked in the middle of the street. And that perspective of putting yourself out there is rightfully so very scary. Very scary. However, Spirit's perspective of putting yourself out there is vastly different. And it just blew my mind. The visual that I was given of Spirit's perspective of you putting yourself out there started with the image of a flower blooming. A flower blooming. Now, if you think about a flower maybe being closed and opening itself up, okay? This is the same idea, right, of putting yourself out there. This flower that was previously kind of containing its beauty and containing its wonder inside of its bud is now opening itself and is putting itself out there, right? But from the flower's perspective and the perspective of Spirit, this is a moment of celebration. This is a moment of stretching your capacity to become something greater than you were. It is about opening yourself up to new versions, to new ways of being, to new ways of experiencing life. So from spirit's perspective, when you put your heart work out there, when you share yourself authentically with the world, it isn't about exposure. It's about opening yourself up. It's about allowing a new version of yourself to be made visible. And you're opening yourself up to receive. You're opening yourself up to imagining you're this flower blooming. You're opening yourself up to receive the light of the sun, to receive the blessing of the pollinators, to receive the admiration of a passerby gazing at this flower's beauty. So, from spirit's perspective, it has nothing to do with standing naked in the middle of the street and showing yourself to the world and feeling exposed and a fearful experience. It is first and foremost an intimate experience between you and all that is. And it's a blessed experience of you opening yourself up to a new, to receive new energy, to to share this new version of yourself that you have decided that you get to be in this moment. So I am challenged by this perspective. I know many of you will also be challenged by this perspective, but it is perspective worth shifting into, because a lot of us are starting to feel this energy of blooming happening in 2024, and spirit is asking you to stay open to the new, stay open to new experiences, stay open to new opportunities, stay open. And by sharing your heart work, you are opening yourself up, you are inviting newness into your life. The receptivity of that can be scary, I will admit, because when you open yourself up to a new experience, you don't know, you're admitting you don't know what happens next, because you've never done this before, right? You're opening yourself up to the new. But we talked about and received the guidance in a channeled message just the other day that the unknown, that wavy ethereal space between where you're at and where you're going, is an opportunity for you to seed the void, for you to plant the intention of what you desire to have come back to you. So as we are learning to not put ourselves out there, but open ourselves up to the new, this is the shift that we're doing. That's an opportunity for us to also start to seed the void between where we're at and what we don't know is going to happen next, and allow it to be good. Allow it to exceed our expectations. Allow it to be something we've never experienced before. If you're afraid of experiencing disappointment because that's all you've ever experienced before, you're seeding the void with the same that you know. The whole point of this vision and guidance is to allow yourself to bloom new, allow yourself to open up, to receive new, and therefore seed the void with new opportunities, new perspectives, new ways of being that feel really good to you. Because you're right, you don't know what's going to happen unless you seed the void with your preemptive disappointment, and then you do know what's going to happen. And that, funny enough, can be really comforting, right? In this weird, twisted way, seeding the void with what we've experienced before can be comforting because, well, we've experienced it before. We know how to deal with disappointment. It sucks. We lay in bed and we cry and then we are upset, I don't know what to do if things go good. That's new. But that's what it's all about. That's what sharing your heart work is all about. It isn't a practice of exposure, it's a practice of receptivity. And are you open to receiving the new now? So, I challenge you and myself, if you are facing a new opportunity on your creative journey, if you're facing an opportunity to share your artwork, to put yourself out there, to do something you've never done before that feels vulnerable, to see it as an opportunity to open yourself up to receive the new. And when you're faced with that inner conflict of, but I don't know what's going to happen, good. Tell yourself, good. I'm glad we don't know, because we've known a lot of disappointment and pain. So maybe this time it'll be different since we don't know. And let's seed that void with all of the ways we would love for it to work out for us. And let that be our truth instead. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that when I received that guidance. But I felt like that was such a beautiful perspective shift on the very scary reality of sharing your heart work with the world. So it's not exposure, it's receptivity. Focus on being receptive and open to receive in those moments rather than fearing exposing yourself. Whoo! All right. Oh, yay. I'm glad that that's hitting home for some of you right now. That's beautiful. Um, Now this next message was actually like a whole practice you can do, which I did yesterday. Just again, I get these channeled messages. I give myself from Sunday to Wednesday to integrate them, practice it, see what comes up for me so that I can communicate it better. And this one I tried on yesterday. It was so beautiful. It allowed so much more joy into my life, and I am so excited to share it with you. So, this second piece of guidance for awakened creators that would be in our highest and greatest good this week to know was about honoring the seasons of our life and recognizing that everything's moving in cycles and that we have this tendency to preoccupy ourselves with the next, what's coming next, what's happening next, what's the next thing, what's the next, what's the end of the year going to look like, what's 5 years from now going to be, and we're like obsessing with the future, okay, rather than appreciating and sitting with the uniqueness of where we are at right now. So gift yourself the opportunity to appreciate and lean into the various phases of your life that you are sitting in right now. And ask yourself the question, How can I enjoy this phase of my life right now? How can I bring more joy, more appreciation to this phase of my life right now? And we were asked to literally break it down into different categories. And this is what I did. I got out my journal. Ooh, if I can find the page. And I wrote down the examples that Spirit gave me. The season of nature. Wherever you're at in the world right now, there's a season going on where you live, a physical, natural season that's happening. Okay, write that down. The season of your chronological age, your life there. Okay, write that down. The season in your business, if you have one, or in your education, if you're going to school right now, or in your career, write that down. What season are you in there? The season you're in with your health. Maybe you're working through a challenging illness right now or an injury. Maybe you're in the season of bountiful health. Write that down. What season of health are you in? If you are a parent or even have a pet or other living being that you care for, what season are you in your relationship with them? What age are they? What's the dynamic going on there? Write that down. What season are you in with different creative projects? Maybe you're in this certain stage. Maybe you're just starting. Maybe you're coming to the end. Maybe you're in the middle. Write that down. If you are in a relationship with someone, doesn't even have to be romantic. It could be, but it could also be with a friend or a family member. What season are you in your relationship? How long you've been together? Are you growing apart? Are you growing closer? Are things feeling, safe and comfy? What season are you in? Now, this is where you get to work. And Spirit is asking us, how can you bring more enjoyment and more appreciation to this phase you're living through right now? So go through your list. How can you bring, this is my example. We're in winter right now where I am at. It's literally snowing. I, again, am from California. I don't know snow. I think it's magical and wonderful and amazing. How can I bring more enjoyment and appreciation to this season I'm living in right now? I'm going to build snowmen. I'm going to eat snowflakes. I'm going to go sledding. And I did yesterday. I went sledding with my son, who's 9 and won't always want to sled with me. And so by asking ourselves to honor the seasons that we are in and the different phases of our life, in the different areas of our life, we can extract so much more joy in our lived experience that it just, we rob ourselves. We rob ourselves. The mentality that we have been taught and brought up with and programmed with robs us of appreciating where we're at right now. By constantly putting the focus into the future, by constantly asking us to think ahead, by constantly asking us to be anywhere other than where we're at right now. And Spirit is saying, no, you're missing the opportunity. You're missing a chance to love your life, to love your life. And even if this season that you're in is challenging, there, I guarantee you, will be a way for you to bring more appreciation to that challenge. Health, for example, if you are sitting with a health issue and you're in this season of ill health in your life, there's an opportunity perhaps to rest more, to sort out your priorities, to learn how to receive help, to make major changes in your diet or the way that you move your body. There are always opportunities for us to receive more joy and more appreciation. And remembering seasons don't last forever. They're always changing. And so too, we're asked to practice this regularly. So maybe literally when the seasons change where you live, you dive into this and you try to appreciate all the different seasons of your life in all the different aspects of your life and really learn to sit with where you're at and find ways to extract more joy from it. Because what happens when we appreciate our life, we receive more things to appreciate in our life. Spirit's like, oh, you like that? You like what I'm bringing you? You appreciate this? Well, let me give you more. Let me give you more to appreciate. Let me give you more to embrace. And you'll find that you just open yourself up more to start appreciating, to stop and pause and look out the window and think, wow, I'm only ever going to look out this window on this season at this age in this point in my life this one time. That's it. It'll never be back again. That is the beauty of endings that give us the blessing of life, knowing that it won't last forever. That's why death and life are so connected, and it's necessary for us to understand the impermanence of things in order to understand how to appreciate them while we have them. Especially this is true with your creative projects, right? So wherever you are at on your creative journey, how can you bring more enjoyment and more appreciation to the phase you are in right now? Allow yourself to enjoy your life more. So I hope that brings you some comfort and gives you an opportunity to really learn how to tap into and love the life that you have. I know that it can be really challenging to maintain that perspective all the time, which is why it's part of my gift to you to keep showing up every day, to keep reminding you every day of how precious your life is, how wonderful you are, the immense, incredible work that you are doing as a creator, so that you don't forget, so that you have always in your back pocket that reminder that there is something and someone who cares about what I'm doing and wants to see me thrive and wants to see me grow. So I love you so much. And I have prepared a special announcement, but I'm going to keep it zip tight just a little bit longer as guided by spirit. But you will be hearing from me very soon with an incredible opportunity for us to spend more time together and have some incredible growth experiences together. And I can't wait to share it with you all. So stay tuned for that. Next week, I cannot believe it. Next week already, we are going to be prepping for the full moon. So come back next Wednesday for the full moon live. Ron sending me your emojis. You're making me want to share my secret, and I don't want to share it yet. Okay, I won't share it yet, but I will tell you today's channeled message. I posted on YouTube the whole thing. It's about 8 minutes long. So if you want to tune into the channeled messages, the daily ones, that one is available on YouTube in its entirety. I just couldn't resist. It was too good. It was all about how sometimes our heart work triggers people. And that's what's going to happen when you stand in your authenticity. It's going to bother some folks. So I was able to open myself up to bring through such beautiful, beautiful guidance for when that happens to you. I think it's just timeless, timeless wisdom. So check that out over on YouTube. If you're not already, I love you. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you really soon what I've got brewing. Thank you so much. Bye for now.